Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. For today's episode, we have a homeless man named Kenneth. Welcome in. And as usual, we have Mike as the co host. Welcome in, Mike. Nice to meet you, brother. How are you doing today?
Well, thank you for having me.
Of course, brother. It's a pleasure. How are you doing, Mike? As you guys can see, Mike lost a lot of weight. He's down to about 110 pounds now. I'm not sure what he was at before, but it's awesome. Let me just pull the mic closer to your mouth. This is perfect. You got it?
Yeah, this is perfect.
Awesome. So real quick, if you could just introduce yourself, tell everybody your name, where you're from originally, where you stay now, just all of that stuff, so they could get an introduction to you.
Okay, my name is Kenneth Landau, and I'm from Southern California, and I stay around Van Nuys area, towards Ventura Boulevard, and I've been in the middle of LA for about 5 years, and I've been homeless halfway half of my life, and I'm doing well. Besides some uncircumstantial conditions, but I'm glad to be here. I'm glad that I ran into you guys. I stumbled and
Just found you
I'm happy.
randomly. It's very good.
Just really glad to meet you.
Very happy to meet you as well. So, if I may ask, how did you originally become homeless? If you're willing to speak on anything like that.
Uh, I had an argument with my family, and it was. I came from a messed up family, a disorganized kind of family. Just there's a lot of drama growing up and stuff. So I had an argument, and I accidentally dislocated my grandmother's shoulder, and she said, "You're out forever. You're out forever."
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, it was, but I try to make the best of it. I try to make it so I'm not just sitting down there crying all the time. I look at it like I see the brighter side of things.
Yeah, instead of just being homeless and being sad about the situation, you try to look on the bright side. Even though you're homeless, you still have some things that some others don't. In a different country, one person might not have any family or food or water. You look at the bright side of things.
Yeah, I look at the bright side of things. Like my shoes might be untied, but there's a different way to tie them.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's a glass half full instead of glass half empty.
Yeah.
That's
I
very
keep that glass always halfway, and that's the thing about being homeless is it stays halfway. It doesn't get full.
but it's also not empty. You're able to make the best out of situations.
It's because of that. And then all these other guys fall. They stumble to the ground because they don't have everything that they want. They're not able to reconcile. They're not able to dig deep into all the good memories that have passed. They start whining about everything that happens, and they're not able to get back up. And I feel bad for a lot of them. I've lost a lot of friends out there because they stumble and they can't get up, or they do stupid things. They say yes to robbery. They say yes to extortion, and they say yes to some really immature things. And like I never get to see them again, and I want them back. But I'm really I'm happy with myself. That's one thing that you have to remember when you're homeless is if you're not happy with yourself, you're not going to survive.
I would say that's a very good point. Um, I wanted to ask you as well. Why do you think so many people, when they see a homeless person, they might have some sort of distorted view? They might think that person is crazy, or they might think that person is not a normal person. Why do you think people just automatically might think that about somebody, when in reality, a lot of them, like yourself, might be normal people who just found themselves in an unfortunate circumstance?
A lot of them were quick to draw on being left outside and having nowhere to go. So a lot of them went into the stores and tried to rob them for everything.
The
A
homeless
lot,
people tried to rob
yeah,
them?
yeah. A lot of them quickly picked up a gun and went to shoot their neighbor. A lot of them picked up a knife and said, "Okay, I'm going to be part of a gang and I'll do anything they want." And a lot of them didn't think that they were the next meal. A lot of them didn't think that they were the next target. They thought that, okay, I could be part of something real quick and just mess everything up.
So you're saying that there's some homeless people who just give the rest of them a bad rep by committing crimes or
Yeah,
just attacking others?
they made everything bad for the good guy, for the guy that said, "No, I'm actually fine on the bridge. The water looks nice today." A lot of them said the water doesn't look nice. I'm going to cut this guy's head off, and I'm going to do anything I can to get to the store. That made it really hard for
Hard for people like you?
yeah, yeah. It made it hard for the people like me that can wait a little bit, that can understand the human emotion, and another thing is it's the look. Being outside for like 5 years straight, it's gonna make you look like a piece of like a stone or like
It's gonna harden you a little bit.
it's gonna harden you a little bit, yeah, but it's gonna make you look like unapproachable or something, and it's just all those guys that made the wrong decision when they became homeless. That history builds up on people. That it adds a character. So homeless means a nice good guy, not a. And it's really hard to combat with all the guys that just went completely insane when they lost their house and did anything they could to get $1,000 real quick, and $1,000 doesn't happen that fast for anyone.
They're trying to just expedite themselves out of the situation instead of working out of it the right way.
Yeah, yeah, they're trying to expedite, and they're trying to excavate a way to make make a name for themselves real quick. They're trying to put a quick band-aid on a cut that lasts. Homelessness is a responsibility that you have to yourself.
No, I get what you're saying. I think you have a very good mindset on these things, and it's probably helping you stay out of a lot of the other troubles that might be easy for you to get yourself in. Again, if I may ask, are you on any drugs? Do you take any drugs?
Oh, sometimes yeah, I'm homeless. I do drugs.
Do you,
I do drugs. They keep me cold, warm when it's freezing out there. I drink a little bit. It's good for me to like not feel the 30 degrees that I'm in. Sometimes though, when I have no money,
right?
I'm stuck freezing in my t-shirt. You know,
Would you say which ones you do?
people take pills, Percocets sometimes.
But no,
Sometimes.
like
Yeah,
you do it a little bit.
a little bit, but I'm not a hardcore junkie like what they say I do. I'm not doing syringes and throwing them all over the bridge and over the freeway. I mean, one time I think I threw a needle over the freeway, but it's not like a whole bag.
No, no, I see what you're saying. You might do it every once in a while, but you're not like a junkie who's addicted. It's just you do it every once in a while for a little bit of fun.
That's an area I try to stay away from talking about this much, but I do it. I do it.
No, I understand. I get what you're saying. No discrimination here or anything.
But I don't abuse it to a point where I'm wearing it out. You know, I try to save a little bit for the next guy, but it's hard to do that anymore because even homeless people get robbed from the homeless.
From other homeless people.
Yeah, and some of them, like, they don't call each other brother anymore. They don't call each other.
So you've had other homeless people try and rob you?
Oh yeah, well yeah.
That's often that happens a lot.
Fight some homeless people off, yeah. And you win some and you lose some.
Does a homeless person ever try and when of course if you're homeless, a lot of people would imagine you're sleeping outside many of those days.
Yeah.
The other homeless people or just anybody in general ever try and steal stuff from you?
I've woken up without my shoes before.
Really? But did they ever try taking anything from like your bag, or do you have a cart with you or anything like that?
Oh yeah, I've woken up with nothing.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I kept the shirt on my back, I kept the clothes on me, and pretty much shoes on my feet. But I mean, has that happened? Yes. And some of them, I mean, I've gotten back at them before too, but I don't chase them down the street.
No, that's good. You know, getting revenge isn't productive, but
no, it isn't.
Just moving on forward and trying to help yourself out of the situation is definitely the best.
I try to look at it like if they want that bag, they can keep that bag. And
That's definitely a better way to look at it than most. You know, some person might want to try and get them back for it, and then that
No.
might start. Then they're gonna want to get them back again, and you're starting this violent cycle. But in reality, I think you have a much better
I just
position on
take it.
this.
Sometimes I tie them to my legs. Sometimes I tie them up to my property or whatever. What I think my property is. It's like whatever I like. I know that buzz bench is in my property, but everybody knows I've been laying on it for like 3 days. Like that's
No, I see what you're saying.
yeah. It's,
What has the government done to help you and other homeless people?
oh, they give out the EBT benefits. I've always loved that from the government. My EBT card,
That's like the food stamps.
the food stamps. Yeah,
Do you get those every month?
I get those every month. Yeah,
So that's how you get most of your food?
yeah. I get my food and part of the thing about being homeless is appreciating the food too and cooking it because man, trying to get a fire outside is harder than getting a running hose. And it's not yours. So it's like getting the proper can of butane, getting a portable gas stove, a hot plate, and finding somewhere to plug in is really a big hassle. So when you get the food from the government, it's really a big help. And it's like I don't know where I'd be without it. You know, it's a really big
It's a big help for you. It helps you get food in some situations where you may otherwise not be able to.
It reinstates hope in me because I know the government actually cares.
Right.
Because
So you would say the government is helping you trying to get out of this situation.
yeah, yeah. For the most part, I believe that as long as they give people food and the option um, to utilize their card with their choice, you know, there's rentals
Right.
you could use. There's halfway homes you could use. There's also other places like that are on the down low. You know, you can kind of just like rent out your resources a little bit and pretty much survive off of that. But the thing is, it's like you got water, you got food, and you got flame. You know, you got
Right.
heat, you got gas, water, electricity, and food. And you combine all that, and you got all the resources of the government, and you got camping areas, like Yosemite National Park. You got the Parks and Recreation crew. They're pretty cool too about like leaving people alone and also providing support and aid. I've had some really great homeless neighbors before too. I'm talking years ago, like probably 5 or 6, no, maybe up 5 or 6 years ago. Yeah, I've had my neighbors and they were all nice. We all live in a nice little area by the lake, and we never argued with each other. We
No
all-
problems, just a nice, peaceful, almost like having a real neighbor or something to you.
yeah, having a real neighbor.
Good vibes from them and all that.
Good vibes for sure. And the problem is, when you invite somebody new in, and they want to take everything.
They might want to mess it up, and then they might kind of mess up the community aspect of having other people, even though it's not a real house, but a community aspect, like a neighborly person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and some of them, I mean, it's like you got like sluts, you got like Barbie dolls, we got girls that you know you don't want to tell need a lot of work. You know, we got people that come in who are desperate and actually need help, and those guys get help sometimes. Sometimes they run away because a lot of the homeless atmosphere is very creepy, especially being out by the lake with nobody there. You know,
No, I get what you're saying.
it's like Weekend at Freddy's. You know, Freddy Krueger. Like I'm not going in there. Sometimes homeless people they're forced to go in there.
Forced to go into places other people might think is scary or just want to stay away from generally.
Yeah.
I definitely get what you're saying. I wanted to ask you also, what's the biggest problem stopping you today from not being homeless, from getting out of this situation?
The biggest problem I would say is holding down a job full time. Because of all my homeless experience, that gets in the way. My reputation as a homeless felon.
You have a felony charge?
Well, they're extinguished. They're gone by now.
Oh, but they're gone.
Yeah.
Would you be willing to
But
say
I
what those
look like
charges were?
I look like a felon.
You
I
look like a felon.
like a criminal because of the homeless reputation.
No, I get what you're saying. I think if you
It's
got
hard to-
maybe
it's hard
you
to
know a
go around
haircut,
and
clean
up,
cut, you
yeah.
could look just like anybody else. Were you willing to share a little bit about what your charges were?
My charges were only drugs.
Oh, just drug charges?
Yeah, just drugs.
How did they
and
catch you on those?
Um, what did I do? I think I had a syringe out in public,
Ah, okay.
and I was doing it publicly, like on the side of the road, and I was tying off like at a bus stop or something, and the cops said take that out, and I refused to take my shot out of the arm. I did it right in front of the cops, so they
Wow.
arrested
Do you
me.
think you should have been arrested for that or no?
No.
Why not?
Oh, because it's drugs.
You think drugs should be legalized?
Drugs should be legalized and supervised. They shouldn't be illegalized and criminalized.
Where are you getting your drugs from?
I get my drugs from trusted resources. I don't talk much about where I get my drugs
No,
from.
no, I get what you're saying. If you don't want to talk about it, it's completely okay.
I just go to the liquor store and get alcohol. I do most of my rendezvous only involve alcohol.
No, no,
Like,
I get you.
I'm not about destroying everything to get high. I guess that's why I got arrested once or twice before.
Have you been able to get a job in the last 5 or
I haven't
6
been
years at
arrested
all or
in
not?
Probably 5 or 6 years.
And
yeah.
probably not 5 or 6 years?
Yeah.
What do you think would be the next step for you getting down a job? Because I imagine if you were to get try and get a job, they probably wouldn't want you showing up high or anything like that.
It's probably my Grizzly Adams beard and my flank hair top.
The beanie?
Yeah. Maybe, I mean.
Have you applied? Have you ever put in any applications?
Yeah, I put in applications. It's more about me getting the apartment and doing it. What inhibits me is maybe I'm looking for the whole thing instead of something small. Like I can see myself getting into a room and board situation with like 4 guys or something.
Oh, that could be a good one.
Yeah.
How
I
much
could shave and shower it up and just,
do you have a sign with you that asks for money from people?
yeah.
What's the most amount of money you've ever made? Oh, you would like to share your
I
sign?
never make much.
Can I see it?
Yeah, you can see my sign.
I'm trying as hard as I can to find work. Anything you can spare will help out a lot. That's actually a very good sign. You know, a lot of people might try to tell a sob story, but you're saying you're trying to
Thank
get a
you.
job. I think that's a very good one.
Yeah, but the type of jobs that I'm looking for, some people just don't, like, they don't know. They say you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
Right.
Maybe my horse, what's been driving me this whole time is like looking for that perfect landscaper job, looking for that perfect painter's helpers.
You might need to
position.
you're saying you might just need to take up a job that's not as great as one of those, but it's still something. It might be able to help you out less than those, but help you out more than nothing.
Yeah. Despite what I look like, maybe I can get a job doing something what I don't think I look like I could be doing.
No, I definitely see what you're saying. Do you think, have you ever made more than like $100 in one day just with the sign?
Not really,
No, really?
which irks me.
Really?
Because I've seen some guys, they come on and they tell me, you just got to go to a certain area and just kind of sit there and ask it a little bit differently than the way you're doing.
I was gonna say, I think maybe, I'm not sure where you're usually at, but if you go to some place like Rodeo
Mhm.
or, 9th Street, Santa Monica.
It's my manners. I'm like, I don't want to bother all these nice people. With
No,
all
I
their
see what you're
money
saying, but
and
you don't
stuff,
even, a lot of the time in places like that, it's a lot of people with a lot of money.
Mhm.
I used to know a guy, he wasn't even homeless. He
I
would
might
just,
as well a little bit. Sometimes I do.
what'd you
sometimes-
say? I didn't
I
catch
might
that.
as well a little bit. I might as well stick my neck out there a little bit because just staying by the side of the road and bugging the bus drivers and stuff. I mean, I'm only gonna get like
No, I'm
$3
saying
to
if you go to somewhere
$7 a day.
like 3rd Street in Santa Monica, it's a lot of expensive stores and all that. I used to know a guy, one of the Don't Mike. I used to know a guy, and what he would do is he wasn't even homeless. He just had a sign. He said, "Hey, trying to get, similar to yours." It said, "Trying to get a job. Anything would help." He wouldn't even talk to people. He would just lay down and take a nap, and have a little bucket, a little cup for people to give him money. He would wake up sometimes with like,
That way
50.
doesn't work. That way doesn't
That
work.
one
for me.
doesn't work?
I tried that one for like 3 years in a row. That one does not
Really?
work. Yeah. Uh, People don't like the cup. People don't like the bucket.
They want you to ask them. That's more likely to get some money.
They'd rather you ask them, and that's annoying too. But you got to try different people and different approaches. I know that going around where everybody congregates isn't good. They all think alike. Going around people who belong to different communities yield better results. They surprise you. And I've been surprised before. Wait, I've been given like $30 one time.
Really?
I've been given $100 before. Yeah, it's been a few times, but I mean, what I really need is that handout,
And then like a stable job. Is
a
it
stable
something to help
job,
keep
yeah.
you
And the
consistent?
computer and the cell phones. I hate it when I get a cell phone. I fall asleep. I wake up without those.
You have
Cell
a cell
phones.
phone right now?
No, I woke up without my cell phone about 4 days ago.
Somebody stole it from you?
Somebody either stole it from me or it fell out of my pocket, and I just got up and kept going the way I always do.
So what would you say is your next move? How do you think you're gonna find a stable job or something that will help you consistently get out of this
I'm
situation?
gonna hit up one of the libraries. I'm gonna go to Van Nuys library, or I'm gonna go to one of the resource centers, the department. I'm gonna go to the DPSS and get another phone.
They give you free phones over there?
They give you free phones over there, yeah.
That's good.
And I'm just gonna hold on to this one, and this one I'm gonna have to duct tape to my hip.
That's a good idea. Another question I wanted to ask: what do you think? I'm sure you're not too online or anything like on the internet, but a lot of people will make videos where they go to random homeless people on the street and they'll give them like $50 or $100 to make everybody think they're a great guy. What do you think about those people? They're trying to just show that they're some sort of good person by giving somebody money, but in reality, they're only doing it for good credit.
Well, I don't like that at all. I think that you judge a little bit more than what you do in front of somebody or what you do in front of the
In front of
public
an
eye.
audience.
In front of an audience,
It's about what
you're
you actually mean in the heart.
You're only as good as salt you can throw. You're only as good as the fruit that you yield. Is what I'm actually trying to say. You can only judge a man by his good deeds. You don't judge a man by all the stuff he does behind people's back. You judge a man by the things that he makes.
I actually think that's a great answer. You're saying that those people, they're a little bit fake, they're trying to portray something that they're not actually and get good credit points by doing something like that.
Yeah, see, that's one thing that I like to keep about me is the good credit points is what we all are working for. What we have our jobs our whole life for is to be good. We want to be encouraged still, and we want to be the one that was there for our friend through thick and thin, not the guy who said, "Oh no, just sell it all, throw everything else in inequity and all that." No, we all are judged by our good deeds. We're not judged by how badass we think we are, or all the fights we lost or won. We're judged by all the stuff that we do right, and
All of the stuff that you do good, not the bad things, but the things you do with pure intentions and trying to make the world a better place.
Much further. They go so much further. And one thing I've never understood about a lot of people, and it's one thing that I've always been homeless for, is not knowing why people keep the hate instead of share the love. It's something that I think that we need.
A lot of aggressive people out there.
There's a lot of aggressive people out there, yeah. And I've always been about just more showing the smiley face, more showing about
Giving people a positive
being
impression.
happy through the mud.
No, I think that's much better. It'll give you a much. It'll make getting through. Yeah, exactly. It'll make you get through hard situations easier because you're thinking about the positive side. Real quick, I want to just get something.
Okay.
Just excuse me for 1
Yeah,
second.
no problem, man.
Do you think the United States has done a good job addressing the homeless problem and getting people, not helping them with food stamps, but getting them out of homelessness, getting them jobs and all of that?
I don't think they did as good as a job as they could do.
You think they could be doing a better job?
I think they could do a better job by not classifying all homelessness into a halfway home. That's my honest opinion. I think that all
What is
homelessness
halfway home?
halfway home is what you say all homeless people do.
What do you mean?
That's what the United States says that all homeless people all they want to do is drink alcohol all
Ah,
day.
okay, I see what you're saying.
And, yeah, throw heroin over bridges and stuff. And that's not true. And they built a bunch of halfway homes and like that kind of stuff and sober livings and stuff like that. That's how the United States kind of like dissolved all their respect for me, is saying that they all do one thing and it destroys stuff. Some homeless people like to live in tents and be homeless.
No, I see what you're saying. I wanted to
And
ask you this
free.
as well.
Because the United States is based upon freedom.
No, I'm completely. I actually
And it
definitely agree
locked
with you there.
everyone up for being free. It is total anomaly to me. And it's like I'm a United States citizen too. And I'm like totally confused by their betrayal.
Do you think well, you said you do, some drugs here and there. Are you at all scared that you might ever take one that's, messed around with? A lot of people, unfortunately, are passing away due to people putting in it and all of that stuff. Are you scared at all from that?
I'm a little bit scared, and I know who to ask before I go and do stuff. I know how to say, is this pure, or is this gonna be?
You're not scared at all that they might lie to you, though? Or
I know how to say if it's all coked up or if it's not all coked up.
do you
You
think?
know, I have been lied to before, and I've totally woken up with shots in me and a bad experience, and never wanting to go back to a hospital ever.
You've woken up in the hospital
I've
before?
woken up in the hospital before because of stupid. Um,
So you've actually taken it before, unfortunately.
yeah, unfortunately, I woke up and it's like, man, tell me it was, but I know it wasn't. I was
Would that
smoking.
be some sort of encouragement for you to maybe? What would it take for you to get off the drugs? And is that something you'd ever be interested in, just completely stopping it altogether?
A hardworking job,
A good job would help you get off of that?
a good job,
Do you think maybe, just as a recommendation, I
good
think
job, another chance to start over, and if for the system to call my name again, and for all it would take would be for the laws governed by the United States to actually I don't know, to completely ignore the rules that were extinguished more than 15 years ago. Proposition what was it? Senate Bill 215 passed, I don't know what happened with Obama and all that. It's like, do you even still need a recommendation, or do you still need medical passes to smoke cannabis publicly, or is like the freedom of the press has gone completely haywire, and all the cameras provide attention to the free target instead of the culprit.
do you think that maybe, just from what you were saying earlier a moment ago, in terms of you stopping that altogether, if you were able to get a job and all that, do you think maybe
Yeah.
it might be kind of a circular, just a recommendation, it might be kind of a circular
I've
issue?
done it for 2 years before, or for 4 years.
I'm saying, would it be harder for you to probably get a job if they knew that you might be on some sort of substances? They might not want to hire you.
That's not true at all. I mean, I worked a long time smoking weed on my job. I was a waiter at Denny's for 5 years.
And then
Always
that was,
smoking in the back, and I never had a problem. And sometimes I would do some coke. Never really tell my customers. Or
you didn't tell them?
heck no, no. You know,
Did the management know?
yeah, there was a backfield that was completely left alone. When everything was on the front end, though, I knew when to not show up high. I knew when to flush everything down the toilet. And I've done that more than twice. And
But why did they? Why did you end up not working with them anymore?
um, oh, because I fell down and I couldn't get up.
Like physically fell?
physically fell down. Like, and I fell down mentally.
Oh,
More,
okay, I see
more
what
to
you're
say.
saying.
Like, I fell down on the side because I was staying at one of those halfway homes, and it's really hard to get another job when you're working there, and to tell them that I got to quit because the guys I'm working for don't want me to do anything anymore. And I tried to give everything a break for a few months. Is pretty much suicide. It's like getting thrown out and being homeless all over again just because you want to fraternize. And a man's got to fraternize after about every 6 months. I mean, after 3 months, you're doing something wrong, you know. And if everything's being all centerfolded, then you gotta know when to fold them. So I fell down mentally and quit, and had to be homeless because
No, I see what you're saying.
yeah,
I see what you
I either
mean.
had to be myself and homeless, or I have to be someone else fake and causing rude disruptions for everybody else. And I'd rather be myself and homeless.
Can you describe how a typical day in the life is for you? What you do from day to night?
Oh yeah, I wake up, I have breakfast in the morning, or I scrounge, and then in the afternoon, I like to look at the fields a lot. I like to read a lot of magazines. I like to play wordplay.
On the
And
magazines?
on the magazines, exercise my brain and stuff, and talk to people, like as many people as I can. I become in touch with all the bus patrons and stuff like that, and
It's good as keeping yourself out there.
yeah, I make as many friends as possible, and I read a lot, and I draw a lot. I like to keep my eyes on like on what do you call nice green mountains, nice blue rivers, nice sun, nice sky to look at, nice people to look at, nice people to not bother too. Sometimes I'm always worried about bothering people, and
You don't want to bother somebody?
no, if they're looking at me and I know that I'm looking at them too, then I know that it's this the feeling is mutual, and I feel I I belong in the community where I'm at.
Would you ever consider moving out of somewhere like California and going to a different state or even potentially in the farther future, a different
Oh
country or
yeah,
anything like that?
yeah, yeah. I mean, I've checked out other countries,
Where have you been?
other provinces, the Dominican Republic. I've been to
Dominican Republic.
like some isles. Uh, I'm not that educated. I mean, I did drop out of school when I was what 19 or something.
In college?
Yeah, or some type of yeah in grade in
The
after
12th grade?
after the high school one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But you still have high school diploma and all that?
Yeah, I completed all the arithmetic stuff, all the math stuff. I mean, I can tell you what 2 plus 2 is a million times in a row, and I'm still gonna get the same apple, you know. But I've been to other republics. I've been to other countries, other states, and it's like I'm still a California native. I'm still a California
But you
native.
still like
So
California and
like,
all that?
yeah.
Would you ever consider getting out of homelessness potentially by joining the army?
Yeah.
You would consider that?
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure the exact specifics, but
I'm not sure if they'd still take me because of my age. I'm right there at the limit.
how old are you? I don't believe I asked that yet.
38.
38?
Yeah.
I was gonna say you definitely don't look 38. You look maybe mid 20s, late 20s
I
max.
really appreciate that.
No, for sure. I thought I would have never guessed 38, honestly.
Mm.
But if you were a little bit younger, that might have popped into your mind.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, I took their test. They just like. Mm. I didn't get the secrecy development program part
No, I see what you're saying.
until later.
Do you think Obama was really born in Africa?
I thought he was born in Hawaii,
What do you think? Do you think Hawaii or Africa?
Africa.
Africa? Or would you consider yourself religious at all or not really?
I keep a God in my heart when I've had bad days. So I'm halfway religious and I'm halfway not. I like
Halfway,
to call
halfway.
myself, what do you call it? Nostalgic.
Nostalgic.
Yeah, what's the one? You got atheist, then you got
Well, atheist is not believing in God.
uh
And then I think the big actual religions, the monotheistic ones where you believe in one God,
uh
would be Islam for the Muslim people.
uh
Then you have Christianity for Christians, and then Judaism
both
for the
of them.
Jewish.
Um, no, I would say I'm like an atheist in an Islamic religion.
Your party is like Muslim.
Yeah, I believe in one. I'm a one-shot pony as well, you know. So I'm not gonna diss that. I'm all about that. It's just that I can't provide myself fully. Well, I can. It's just I'm not going to be dispelling at this point for me.
No, I see what you're saying. I get what you
It'd be
mean.
more sad. It'd be more sad because I do like God. It's just I'm not publicly gonna be in God's God's lonely boy. I'm here in His world to live it and not to think that I don't have anyone. You know, I
Do
have people here.
Do you vote during the election cycles? Do you
I
make any
haven't
votes?
voted in a long
You
time.
haven't voted?
No,
Would you consider yourself more of a conservative or a progressive liberal?
progressive liberal.
Really, liberal?
Liberal?
Like liberal would be like Joe Biden, and then conservative would be like Donald Trump.
Not like Donald Trump.
Not like Donald Trump, you don't like him?
Mm-mm.
Why not?
Because he doesn't move.
What do you mean?
Oh, look, Donald Trump did a lot of good things. He put his money to work. But he's Donald Trump. And no matter what he does at the end of the day, he's still going to be wearing the same suit. And it doesn't look good. And I'm a little bit like that.
What's the craziest experience you've had while being homeless? It can be with a person, a fight you've had, anything.
I've had some cool menage a trois. I've had some pretty cool experiences like that. And I met some really bizarre people.
You met some crazy people? Or interesting people?
Interesting, not crazy.
Who would you say is the most interesting person you've ever met on your journey?
Mm, probably some of the chaplains over at UK.
Some of there was the royal family.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I didn't really meet them, but I got some really cool articles, and it's like I was meeting some pretty hot people, and I was like, all right. You know, as a
Right.
homeless person, I was really coming across some movie actors. That's the reality. I was meeting movie actors.
All through the
Yeah,
newspaper.
yeah, all that other shit I was saying, that's probably the coffee. But yeah, I met movie actors out of nowhere, and when I was going into the music store, I was meeting drummers from really cool bands and stuff. You know, it's like
You met some band members and some
yeah,
famous musicians and all that
famous
type of stuff.
musicians. I've met some yeah celebrities.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I was like they're interesting. They're really good people, you know. And it's like they live a hard life. When after I got to sit down and think about them for a moment, it's just like they're not all acting and stuff, and some of those tears are real when you're watching movies. And I'm really sad when people say that you know Scarlett Johansson doesn't play good made for King Kong. You know, she's really
Right.
trying. It's like
Very talented, you're saying?
they're talented and they go through they go through life as well. And as a homeless person, it's like I see a connection there that's unmistakable. Yeah, for the human eye to see, it's like we have our movies that we treasure and we always watch, and we're all like that, no matter who you are or how smart you are. We all draw back to the Adams family, and
Bro,
we all like that sound. We all like that dun dun dun. We all like to hear that music, no matter what, and that keeps me attached and hopeful and happy.
do you think homeless people should be allowed to own pets?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Homeless people are the best guys to have dogs around.
Do you have dog?
Um, Unfortunately, no.
Would you want to have one in the future potentially? Dog, cat, anything like that?
Yeah,
Why
Yeah.
haven't you have one now?
because I haven't put my sign out for a dog.
Oh, you haven't tried to get one yet?
No.
Why? Would you think about doing that in the future?
Yes. I've
What?
watched dogs before as a homeless.
Oh, you've watched
person.
dogs
Yeah, I've been a
before.
homeless dog watcher. Yeah,
That's good.
like I babysit my neighbor's dogs.
Ah, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Final question of the podcast. What did you think today of this? Did you have a good time? And what did you think about Mike?
Mike is the consultant.
Consultant?
Yeah, of Baywatch's dreams. He's the lifeguard that you need to have at your right hand. Is what I'm trying to say about Mike.
He should be here?
Yeah,
Or should he be fired?
He should be here and he should be in charge.
He should be in charge?
Yeah.
Oh, no. He is very irresponsible. But he's happy you
yeah.
said that about him. He doesn't get much love. Most of the audience thinks that he's a joke.
Oh well, sometimes words have no meaning, and sometimes being cathartic, being more emotional and steady and steadfast is what you need to ride along with. So I'm all in favor of Mike.
Well, thank you so much for coming on today. I had a very good time speaking with you. We have a long neck outside right now. We're going to do a podcast with him, but thank you so much. And hopefully for the future, you can, proceed out of homelessness and find a stable job and all of that type of stuff.
In good time.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
All right.